What's going on, everyone? So I want to talk about Arthur Kaluma as I'm going through kind of these summer league players and kind of their performances and their games. And problem with Kaluma, before I dive into this in depth, right? We didn't get to see him as much as I really wanted to. Because on paper he's everything, right? 6'8" guy, 7'1" wingspan, athletic, 3-and-D style. He looks huge out there. The guy looks big. He's massive out there. And he is the exact type of player this Lakers team needs, and desperately. And, I made a video about it. Like, I kind of had this, vision, right, of, having Kaluma with Thero and Baisley, which, unfortunately, he got that injury. I'm hoping that he's able to, it's just another speed bump. You're going to get through it. Boom, bounce back. Keep fighting, right? You hate to see it, but kind of that vision of here's Luka and DeAndre Ayton, and here's three just 6'7" to 6'9", athletic, versatile, long, defensive 3-and-D wings. Let's go win multiple championships, right? That's the kind of vision that I have. Just having that size, that athleticism to be able to mask Luka Doncic, all three guys being able to knock down threes. And so Kaluma's a guy that I wanted to see more. So it's hard to really, in my opinion, evaluate him entirely fair. But the things that I did see when we had the opportunity to see him, I did think was exactly what this team needs. Again, you saw his ability to defend 1 through 5. He was defending guards, switching on centers, right? Boxing out, getting rebounds, right? Creating advantage plays, right? That's what we need to see from guys like him. He's a guy that needs to be on a two-way, in my opinion. There's a couple guys I'm sure that everyone kind of has their thoughts on who should be on the two-way roster. I think you start with Arthur Kaluma. His size, his strength, his versatility out there is exactly what this Lakers team needs. Still needs a little work, still a little raw. Don't get me wrong. Right? I don't think he's not a guy that I'd be comfortable deploying out there for 20 minutes a night type thing, right? Maybe in some spots, a couple guys get the night off. That's why two-way contract, bring them up. Hey, you're going to get 15 minutes tonight. Let's see what you got. Kind of throughout, kind of pick your spots throughout the season. Right? Give him a year or so. Summer League again next year. Guy's the best guy out there. Let's get him on the roster and in the rotation, right? He's a guy that I think is let's give him a year. Boom, let's get him on the roster. And I think he can be that. I think he can do that. Again, you saw the defensive versatility, the athleticism, his shooting. Hitting shots. Definitely, I want to see him kind of continue to work. And it's hard because you're going off of just such small sample sizes. It's not like he's a guy that was getting, he wasn't getting the Dalton Connect and Cole Schweider attempts, right? He was getting kind of the scrap attempts. So it's unless he's shooting the lights out, it's hard to judge. It's hard to gauge. So, but from what we've seen and what we saw in college, he is a guy, that he was looked at as that sizable, versatile 3-and-D guy that has NBA-ready defense. I do think defensively he can, right? I do think, if you wanted to throw him in, I don't know, 10 minutes a night, right, as just a defensive assignment guy, sure. I wouldn't hate that. As long as you have the proper expectations for him, as long as you kind of know, hey, whatever he gives you offensively is great, but hey, you're going to live on the dirty work. And if he's willing to embrace that, then fine. Again, maybe he's right. Maybe he goes and plays because he was looked at coming in as one of the more NBA ready type of two-way defensive 3-and-D guys, right? He's kind of looked at as that OG type. Now, I don't know if he'll ever be that, but that potential there. So I wouldn't hate if the Lakers were to bring him onto the main roster, kind of let him out there, kind of sink or swim type thing. However, I would be more comfortable, and especially with the Lakers being, if the Lakers needed to fill 5 roster spots, then sure, bring him on. If he's your 15th guy even, it's fine. give him some spot minutes here and there, let him be on the main route, like, something like that. But we're not in that position, right? We're very limited on just the amount of roster spots. I mean, we don't have any roster spots right now, right? But guys are going to get waived. So, like, I think that they'll free up roster spots. But the last thing that they need is, like, an inexperienced guy who got limited run in summer league that's going to come in and you're looking to play a big role. Like, I don't like that idea. If he would have been one of the starters and gotten heavy minutes, and look, maybe the Lakers maybe they know and they like him that much and they were like, hey, dude, you're going to be on the two-way no matter what. Right? We want to get a look and showcase some of these other guys, Cole Schweider, Dalton Connect, like these guys. We want to kind of showcase some of these other guys. Right? You're a guy that don't worry about it. You're on the roster or you're on the two-way. Right? That very well could be a possibility. He's the exact type of player the Lakers need. Sizable, athletic, versatile. The Lakers land a dude there, and he is that 3-and-D, NBA level defense, size, versatile. I mean, arguably the best athlete in the draft. Like, the guy is, like, ready to go. Then you look at Arthur Kaluma, and it's like he is another version of that. He's not like as like explosive, but he's a guy that he's also looks bigger. Like, the guy's just massive again. So he's the guy, like a dude there. You slot in at the 3. Kaluma, you slot in at the 4, and you go. And you let those two just be absolute menaces out there, out on the perimeter, just defending and switching, especially the type of defense that JJ likes, that switchable, like 1 through 5. Like, that's what I see with him. And I think Kaluma could play that role. I mean, again, defensively, he might be able to do that immediately. He might be able to do that as soon as this year because he has the size, the strength, the athleticism. I think he'd be able to stay in front, especially if you slot him in at the 4. I think he can stay and defend most 4s in the league. Now, there's a couple that, like an Aaron Gordon who has just that explosiveness, that athleticism. Like, he's like the savvy guys, like the veteran guys, the explosive, the guys that you got to kind of keep an eye on. Those kind of guys I have a little concerns with, but I think most guys he'd be able to defend, be able to switch out on the perimeter. Right? Like, he's a guy that I don't think teams would be switch hunting, right? Like, he's one of those guys that I think teams would be like, all right, because he's just so massive, right? And I wish we would have gotten a little more, so I would have had a little more to go off of. I wanted to see him kind of be one of the more showcased guys because he's the exact kind of guy this Lakers team needs, exact kind of guy. And it's like, you'd think that the Lakers would want to kind of do that. But again, we don't know what kind of conversations went on behind closed doors. If they're like, hey, you're already going to be on a two-way, don't worry about it type thing. Where it's like, we want to get a look at some of these other guys. So we'll see. Time will tell. But anyways, as always, this is a discussion. Pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. Lets me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.